thanks for stopping by and checking out this video. This is another in the series of the making of my movie MANO, and with Shinji, the main actor.
Hello.
And today was thinking we could just talk a little bit about your character and how you approached it, and kind of like how you could relate to the character and how you approach some of the scenes. 'Cause some of the scenes were pretty intense, and you kind of really were able to pull a lot of emotion into those. And maybe just a quick background for those just tuning in or have no idea about the film. It's a indie feature that is now streaming on Amazon and in Japan, U.S., and U.K. The title of the movie is called MANO, and it's about it's an hour and a half, 95 minutes long film, and it's about a half Japanese, half Latin American immigrant to Japan, and the main character is somebody that has has no memory about their past, and kind of are living this life and working odd construction jobs, just kind of working, living day to day, and kind of a mundane existence, and kind of drinking their life away, kind of aimlessly wandering about. And one day, they, little by little, they start, this character Tomas that Shinji plays starts to have these kind of surreal visions and starts seeing these strange characters around Tokyo. This kind of has these surreal situations, and what it does is it brings back these vague memories of this tragic event from his past. And so the film is about Tomas and his experiences, kind of reliving, coming to terms with this very tragic event from his past, and how that affects his life. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. If you want to add anything.
Yeah, it's the the role of Tomas was like, he's half Japanese, half Latin American. Where like I was born in Honduras,
Yeah.
Central America, and grew up in like Latin American countries all entire my life. Well, then eventually I moved to California.
Yeah.
That's where we are all both from.
Yeah.
But I think it really relates to my background, the real background
Yeah.
that kind of fits to my role
Yeah.
as a Tomas. That I have my mom that lives in Tokyo now, but the character Tomas is also like living far away from the mom, kind of missing the mom, and have that like really intimate relationship
Yeah.
between like the son and the mother.
Mm-hmm.
The father is I guess he's somewhere in Japan, but he's looking for if he's dead or he's alive. He's searching for the dad, and I think the way how the Thomas character in Japan, he kind of like was like kind of hard to get used to the Japanese culture. Have a scene
Mm-hmm.
of like uh, I mean, of course, getting drunk every night and stuff. That was kind of like sort of kind of related to me in a real life,
Mm-hmm.
as like as a Shinji Hasegawa. What I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a lot of people say that hey Shinji, that's all you. That looks like you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's kind of related to Tomas and
Yeah.
Shinji, the real me. I was trying to act, but
Yeah.
it was more like maybe half of the character or acting was like my part.
Yep.
Mm.
You definitely, like, us meeting. I mean, was part of the seed that created the movie. I mean, I had the basic idea, and then but we met, and I knew your background, and being from Latin America, born in Latin America, it kind of fit my idea for the story. So I definitely wrote a lot of that into the story, and your character. So yeah, that was definitely a big influence.
Man, my Spanish was kind of I haven't spoken for a while because out of practice, but I think I pull it off okay.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, it must have been challenging at times because some of the scenes in the film, you're speaking Spanish, but the response is in Japanese.
Yeah, that's a trip.
So yeah, it's kind of like that must be odd.
Yeah, it's kind of the first thing like in the movie that I seen that the language, you're speaking to a Japanese and then responded to a Spanish
Yeah.
and different languages.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fresh. Like I found, like I haven't seen any movie like that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I haven't either. So
So yeah, that was kind of, in a way, it's a surreal. I mean, I think this movie, I
Mhm.
mean, is a really surreal movie that I found, and I think it fits that. The
Yeah.
language is like mixing each
Yeah.
other, and the culture background is all mixing each other, and there's Alex,
yeah, yeah.
he's from Mexico, and
Mhm.
he's acting.
One of the other characters, Alex, plays kind of this mysterious Mexican character in the film who's modeled after the Mexican folks, kind of underground folk saint Malverde. So he kind of is modeled after. He's not really Malverde, but his sort of look and persona is modeled after that. So
Yeah, that was great. He really did a good job.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, got super lucky with all the cast, and it was nice. I really enjoy working with people from lots of different cultures and backgrounds, and you've got your really unique background. Alex is from Mexico City, and then the your co-star Jasna Budar, Jasna, Jazz. Hey Jazz, if you're watching. You did an awesome job, man, and you're a big part of, huge part of the film, and her performance was
Yeah.
excellent, and you guys had a lot of good chemistry.
Gracias.
Te amo.
Yo también te amo. ¡Oh, qué hermoso! Como un sueño. Gracias.
Sí, de nada, cariño. Mírala.
Es tan hermosa aquí.
Sí, de verdad que sí. Es una maravilla, ¿eh?
Mi imagen de Japón no era así. Me imaginaba una gran ciudad lleno de gente y de tren balas y de, de hombres borrachos.
Sí, hay un montón de eso.
Un montón de eso. Como tú no eres uno de ellos.
But her background is really interesting. Jazz is half French and half Bangladeshi, but spent part of her growing up time in Texas, where she learned to speak Spanish. So it's all coming together. So anyway, I just really enjoy getting kind of putting these different cultures and people together from different backgrounds, and it kind of reflects like our experience in Japan, right? We meet people from different backgrounds. And
Yeah.
it's natural to the story.
It was totally like the melting pot. You know?
Yeah.
It was like all from different countries, like from Canada
Yeah.
to like, French, from
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mexican,
Yeah.
it's all over. Everybody's like collaborated
Yeah.
together.
Koenji.
ONG.
Yeah. Well, what were some of like the challenging parts of the character Tomas in the film for you? How did you like? I know there were a few scenes that were kind of intense, and how did you approach those? Like
Yeah, I think this character is like, he was like seeking for something,
yeah,
and La Mano, he was like, getting all this like clues in the movies, in the stories, like having this indication of the hand. He finds like different clues of like hands, La Mano, and it was hard to like was like definitely challenging for me to sort of like get into that real deep surreal imagination of yours, you know. So like I'm glad, you know, that at the end of the day, like I could figure out how to, but it was definitely was a challenge of like what's la mano, you know. At first, you know, when I was reading the script at first, you know, I was like, wow, what is this intense like surreal thing with the la mano, with the hands? What's going on? What's going to happen next? So it was pretty definitely was like was really curious about what is about this hand, and I tried to really focus on like how to act like more in a surreal way.
Yeah, that's an interesting way that you put it. Like, you know, uncovering these clues, because that's kind of, I guess, I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, it's sort of like your character Tomas was just finding these clues, you know, periodically, whether it was seeing this like Latin bar that wasn't there before. That just like, we don't know if it's real or not, you know, these things that you're seeing, or seeing this Mexican man selling these kind of folk goods on the streets in Tokyo, right? We never really know if it's real or not in the film. Yeah. There were like one scene in the film, you know, you find the film was called La Mano, the hand, and there's a lot, you know, hand and hands are a big theme in the film. So his character finds a mannequin's hand one day, but part of that is that brings back these kind of really horrific memories. In one scene of like, you have this kind of flashback, and in that scene you break down, you know. So
Yeah.
then that was pretty intense to watch
Yeah.
you. Well, first we're friends,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
before everything, but I'm watching my friend. I mean, you really broke down. It looked
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in the scene, and you know, for me, it was like, it was a little weird. But I mean, it was great for the film, but I just felt like, what was it like with that?
Man, I was just like imagining this is fucking real, you know.
Yeah.
Like the hand, and you know, like all the tragic and like all the sadness and depressions about, you know, it's all like I totally like thought this is so real.
Yeah.
I know that the blood scene was all like harshly chocolate, you know,
Yeah.
syrup. Like
Yeah.
I was, you know, but yeah, I just totally thought this is totally a real thing, and I just had to I had to take it in just one cut, you know, just
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
because you know I cannot put my tears out.
Yeah.
You know, many times. That's the only thing, just
Yeah.
one thing, but I just really put everything into my acting into that, and every time I watch it, I get so emotional. You know, it's so extraordinary for me. You know, so
Yeah.
that was a good experience.
¿Qué está pasando a mí? Estoy volviendo loco. Ay, Dios mío, por favor, ayúdame. Estoy viendo algo. Por favor. Alguien, por favor, ayúdame. Estoy volviendo loco.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Then, in the end of the film, yeah. No, I don't want to give it away, because I'm hoping
right.
people check it out and
Yeah.
watch it. But there's another kind of pretty emotional scene towards the end of the film, and that one also. What was it like in that scene for you? Was it the same kind of situation, or
Yeah,
the forest one? You know, where you
Oh,
find,
the first one.
yeah, where you find Jazz.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, there's like two parts to that scene,
Uh-huh.
without giving too much away.
Yeah. I was just I was just totally put into like 100%, 120% into Tomas, and like really thinking of this like my wife is like, you know, like really sad about my my wife or somebody who I love, you know, from my really bottom of my heart. So yeah, that was a really challenging shooting.
Was there one scene or part of the movie filming that was like the most difficult or challenging, or anything that stands out to you that was like?
Stands out. You know, I don't know. It was well, definitely the forest one. You know, with like, you know, I have to be so emotional, and I think that's pretty hard to act. But at the same time, we were in like, you know, really in the middle of Tokyo, and everybody, all the Japanese people were like looking at, oh, these guys are filming, and you know, so I think that was kind of a challenging for me to be acting in front of people, like a lot of different audiences, just like, you know, looking at me act. So, but the one in the mountain, you know, there were only just crews, so I can just pull it off everything.
Yeah. What did you think about, like, we shot for about like 11 days?
Yeah.
And we had a 1 day break or a 2 day break?
Like couple days break, I think.
So yeah, shot for like 4 or 5 days and took a couple day break, and then another 4 or 5 days. And then we were pretty busy. You know, there's a lot of, I mean,
different
going
location.
from location to location, and
Koenji was challenging because there's so many people, and we were filming like by the stations, you know, so there were more traffic over there. So it was a challenge for me to like get to the set, you know, to the starting point when the camera is rolling, and so but yeah, I mean, I'm amazed like how this film get, you know, put together. You know, it's a good scene.
Yeah, Koenji. Let's see, we shot that scene with you and Alex behind that building. Alex plays the Mexican.
Yeah, that was
character.
pretty intense. Yeah,
that was intense, and that was a fun scene to film because I mean, Alex he's a super cool person. Alex Ormigo, the actor who plays.
Yeah, he was even taller than me.
Yeah, he's a tall guy already, and then he had the cowboy boots on, so he added a couple more inches, and the character is real macho and intense, but Alex's natural personality is much more playful and happy, not like that. And so after we say cut, he'd go back to his normal self, and that was always kind of funny.
He's so friendly, very very loving guy.
Yeah.
Hey. Siento mucho lo de ese tipo.
¿Y por qué sabes de eso?
Ahora no importa. Me temo que tu vida corre peligro.
Pero no entiendo nada que está pasando conmigo.
So, and then we had to shoot a scene. We needed a cafe or something scene, and
La Poema Cafe in Koenji.
So we kind of stole the scene. We found a kind of cool kisaten, which is a Japanese old school style coffee house, and we said, do you mind if we film like a little interview here? We just told him it was an interview. So
I'm amazed you got that place.
Yeah, I don't know how,
really.
We basically just we got it by being customers, and I probably spent like $100. It's just on coffee and stuff, you know, and we got like a bunch of tables, and they're probably like, that looks like more than an interview, but we ended up getting a pretty good shot in this location that we kind of stole, kind of not, but we, you know.
The Alex's face was like right here,
like,
you know, was this close, and we were just talking intensely, you know, about like police and like, you know, somebody is getting get you, you know.
Yeah.
So. Ya vi a Suto de nuevo.
Lo sé.
No tengo nada que hacer con esto.
¿Estás seguro?
Sí, estoy seguro.
Provengo de un mundo en donde los monstruos se alimentan de los temores de los demás.
One question I have, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this, is as the director and the one putting it together and producing it, and I know I could, I tried to handle my own stress as good as I possible, and not get frustrated. But I know, I'm sure there were times when I don't think I ever lost it, but I know at times people got stressed.
No,
Definitely.
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there ever a time that like you felt like pressure or stress, or like I didn't do a good job of?
Oh no, not at all,
No.
not at all.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you totally
No.
entertain us.
Okay. I thought there'd be at least one. There should be at least.
No,
at least
not at
one.
all, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, we had all good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yamanashi was a great experience. We rent this like barn, not a barn, but it's like
Old
an
Japanese house in the
house.
mountains. Yeah.
And no, it was great. Like he cooked us curry rice.
That was fun.
Was it like eggplant, pork?
Yeah.
And right?
Rincon, the
Yeah.
lotus root, like bunch of vegetables and stuff. A big pot of that. And then Araki-san helped. Araki is a friend of ours from Koenji. He owns a vintage clothing store called Fizz in Koenji. Check it out. It's a really cool vintage shop. But he was a big help for the film. He kind of acted as a driver, kind of fixer.
Yeah.
But a huge help. So. But
Yeah, good
he
guy.
helped out. Yeah, good guy. He helped out with the dinner too. Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, we'd end the day there with like a kind of party.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then that was like where you and Jazz, who plays his wife in the film, Jazz, had, those were all your scenes where you and Jazz were together. And
Yeah, we were fighting about in the movie. I was a bad husband and come back
Yeah.
home like drunk every night, and then she's pissed. She's definitely pissed and stuff like.
Yeah.
And then that was a great scene of how like Jazz and I were like, getting not getting to a. I mean, she was basically mad
Yeah.
at me, and she was like pretty pissed off, and the acting was pretty good.
Yeah. I thought you guys did a great job. Well, you guys seem to really have chemistry. You seemed like a couple, and when I was watching you on screen, you just seemed natural.
I think I felt not only Jazz, but like even with Alex, and even with the crew, you and like Jeff, and I felt really comfortable within that team.
Yeah.
I think I feel more uncomfortable if I'm like working with maybe a native Japanese crew. That's another thing, is because I only live here for 5 years and I'm not really used to that
Yeah.
Japanese community. But with you guys, it's like international,
Yeah.
crew, and everybody's so chill and
Yeah.
and down to earth. So that's why I felt, really comfortable, acting
Yeah.
and working with all the crew.
That's cool. Did you and Jazz like how did you guys approach your dialogue and the scenes? Did you guys like go off on your own and like rehearse it? Because a lot of time I was just focused on other things, so I don't know. But you guys really seem to. It just have your characters down and you guys really look sweet, like when you weren't arguing in the role.
Borracho otra vez.
Lo siento, mi amor. No pude llamarte.
Preparé la cena para ti. ¿Por qué no me llamaste para avisar que vas a llegar tarde?
Perdona. Es que yo estuve con
Nakai-san, es trabajo, es que tenía que ir. Y no pude llamarte porque en mi celular, el teléfono, no tenía batería.
No me importa. Puedes avisarme de toda manera. Hice la puta cena para ti.
You remember some of the...
Again, it's very comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
she's a loving lady.
Yeah.
You know, and a great person.
Yeah.
And you know, even the after the acting, you know, if the camera stop, then it doesn't mean that we go in a different, you know, different side of the room, and
Yeah.
you know, it's more like we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then we always had a good communication
Yeah.
together, off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was like I think she felt comfortable with me too, and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, really lucky to have found Jazz. Still don't remember if it was, I have to look this up. If I know I put like some postings, casting notices on some different sites. I think I posted something on Craigslist, and I think that's how we connected. I connected with Jazz, but that was cool. Remember the first day? when
Yeah.
You guys, during casting, we did like a kind of script reading a little bit in the park in Koenji, the first time you met her.
yeah, I still have the picture back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so anything else, like just from the filming, the production, your character, anything else that kind of a moment or a time in the film or something that stands out as enjoyable, or I don't know, whatever, it's just something that stands out as a good memory or
Well, it was back in you know, Yamanashi that when we shot, and after the shooting, everybody like gathered, you know, with your career rice and
Yeah.
and chuhai, you know, the Japanese vodka, you say, and it had this huge ice in the bowl, and everybody was drinking through the bowl
Yeah.
because we didn't have the glass, you know.
yeah.
And I think like Jazz was like dancing, performing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us. The whatever dance was it, like kind of Indian kind of,
Something, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like it was entertaining.
Yeah, that was a cool night. We had this like, we wrapped up all the scenes for the day. We made dinner, and we're all hanging out like around a kind of big, on the tatami mat in an old traditional style Japanese room. We're all just hanging out, eating, socializing, drinking, and that was fun. And that was a really nice evening. And
Did you shoot any of that clip? By the
yeah,
way?
yeah.
Like-
And Jazz ended the evening with doing a impromptu dance,
Yeah.
experimental dance, kind of performing. It was really cool. I filmed it.
We
It
shot
didn't-
that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. It didn't come out.
Mm.
I mean, I think it was like dark or something
Oh,
like
okay,
that. But I
okay.
got a little bit of that, so maybe I'll insert it here. Or something. But well, cool. Well, yeah, I just wanted to have a conversation about your character and your experience filming, and I was thinking there might be some, you know, parts of the filming where you know that you remembered like issues, or like this was a bummer, or you know. So
okay.
I like, or
No,
you know,
I had a
so
great
I thought
time,
there might
man.
be some, but it's good to hear that there wasn't. That was fun. I
It
mean,
was fun.
you
It
know,
was
yeah.
fun. I had no complaints about it at all. I mean, we just had fun, and then
Yeah.
you know, I wish I can do this like, you know, every day.
Well, we got to do another project
Yeah.
for sure. So this year, it's 2021. So we've got a few ideas, and
Yeah, I wish
So-
we can shoot back in California.
yeah, we definitely want, you know, one of our goals is to do a project together in California. We've got a good friend of ours, Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie. We've got a project that we kind of all came up with together, and shoot it in the Mission District in San Francisco. It's a pretty crazy, whacked out idea. So I don't know, with COVID-19, we'll see. May not be able to do it this year, but
Yeah.
you know, but who knows? But we can
Yeah.
shoot something in, you know, Koenji.
Oh, right,
you know,
right.
In the
You know,
meantime,
in
so
meantime, yeah.
so definitely want to do something again together. So anyway, thanks for checking this out, and I'm going to be doing a few